Hey, everybody. It's Friday night, so it is the Quantum Wellbeing Show right here on Broadcast Team Alpha. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Thank you if you're on the replay. I always just so appreciate you guys' attention and time. I'm not sure, besides love, time and attention are seriously precious gifts and commodities. So please know that I do not take your time for granted. And that's why I chose to make this show only 30 minutes. So tonight we're going to be talking about an interesting topic. We're going to be talking about food and dieting. Right. So the title of the show is Do This One Thing You'll Never Have to Diet Again. But before we get started, I want to do one thing. I want to run something past you if you don't mind. I just got my new bio and I just want to see if you guys knew this about me or what you think about the bio. So I'm going to read it to you really quick. Okay. And I'm going to read it as if I'm not really here, as if I'm introducing my guest. Nori is a gifted coach and healer who dedicated her life to helping others achieve their full potential. Nori is as a transformational life coach, a registered nurse, certified hypnotherapist. Nori has a passion for helping those who have lost their alignment due to crisis, sudden change, or awakening, the awakening process. She works faithfully to help her clients realign and step into who they truly are, using her unique gifts and modalities to facilitate healing and transformation. Nori partners with select individuals to physically train and shift blocks, limitations, or stored trauma so they can embody their ideal health, well-being, and shape. As a luminary Reiki master teacher and Silver's Method practitioner, Nori facilitates healing in others using her heart-centered approach to help clients achieve balance, well-being, and harmony in their lives. Her healing work includes helping others transcend their current state of being and reach new levels of awareness and consciousness. Nori's expertise in spiritual energetic healing is especially valuable during this age of Aquarius. She's always available to help those in need with a deep commitment to helping others and a compassionate approach to healing. Nori is a blessing and an inspiration to those she has the privilege of working with. So hey, Lynn, I'm wondering if there's anything in there that you didn't know about me. You know, Augie keeps saying that I'm the best kept secret. And back in the day when talk shows were on the platform of Blab, do you remember Blab? I used to say that I'm deeply shallow, right? And if I ever got too deep, I'd go shallow and crack a joke. And I realized between being the best kept secret and saying I was deeply shallow, not allowing myself to go to the depths of who I really am, you guys might not really know me. So I really wanted to share my new bio with you. And especially because we're going to be talking about your health, we're going to be talking about the body, we're going to be talking about your relationship with food. I want you to know what my ethos is, right? What, where I draw my information from historically, right, in my life. And of course, as an intuitive, I draw my inspiration from there also. So let's talk about it, right? Do this one thing and you'll never have to diet again. What's the one thing? Can you guess? If you can guess, put it in the chat. Before we talk about exactly what that one thing is, I just want to talk about a couple of things. Just imagine you could wave a magic wand. It's your magic wand. Here you go. It's my Planet Fitness pen. You can wave a magic wand and have the health, the well-being, and the body that you desire. What do you see? What do you see? Can you see yourself? do you really see yourself the way that you want to be? Or do you maybe think about somebody else because you like the way they look and you want that shape body? You want that weight. You want that size, right? You want that dynamic way they live their life. It doesn't matter. There's no wrong answer here. Or do you see yourself at a different point in your life? When you were younger, when you were, in great shape. Maybe you've never been in great shape. So you're creating, right, this new way of being, brand new, which is great. And believe me, you can do it. I have clients who have done it, have not worked out a day in their life, and they're in their 6th decade, and now they're creating their body, and they're doing, you know what? They're doing better than my 40-year-olds. I mean, incredible. That's a different story. So, how do you see yourself? Let's go there into the future. And let's imagine walking backwards from being in that place of having the health, the well-being, the body, everything that you really, really want, right? Regarding your physicality and your relationship with food, which is key here. Let's walk backwards from that. If we walk backwards from you, and man, you look good. I'm so happy for you. You look good in those jeans. You look good in that dress. And I can see, I can see how your shirt sleeves are a little tight because your biceps are, toned. And I see the way that you eat. I see your relationship with food. I see your relationship with food in your body. It totally shows. You respect your body. You respect food. And that relationship is a love relationship because you're not afraid to give the plate to the waiter, even though it still has more food on it. Right? Because you're done, right? You're listening to your body. You're done. So you are looking good. You're looking good. What happened before you got there? What were the steps or experiences that got you there? Now, in real life, maybe the steps that you've taken up until now can't get you there, couldn't have gotten you there, haven't gotten you there yet, right? Diet, 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 right? This diet, that diet, everybody diet, diet. And you're not where you want to be. On the diet, off the diet. On the diet, fall off the diet. Get back on, fall off. That didn't get you there. And what have you counted? What have you counted regarding your food and your body? Carbs, protein, fat, macros, micros, money, right? We've counted all points. We've counted all these things and we're still not quite there. So when you look at all that, those are not the steps that get you to where you really want to be. And for some people, this is a really sensitive subject. And I know that. I have history with being really fat. And I was so in denial that I didn't really recognize. I didn't take in the fact that I was more than 200 pounds. And that day that I realized I was a very painful awakening, very painful awakening. But it was that contrast, it was that searing pain that led me to do what I do now, right? It was that pain that turned out to actually be a gift because I learned so much, not only about myself, but how to help others. That was the beginning of my healing journey. Well, it may have started before that, but that's a different story, right? So let's just talk about some of the things that we do, right? That we may not really want to do. Eat at night. Eat when we're bored, right? Linda said you have to live your best life, and someone else's idea of your best life and not someone else's idea of your best life. I totally agree with you, Lynn. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. If you are weighing and measuring and comparing, weighing, measuring, comparing, guess what? You are not in the energy, the energetic frequency, law of attraction. You're not in the energy that's going to bring you the health, the well-being, and the body that you want. And I remember teaching myself as a younger girl, teaching myself not to compare, because man, did I compare, right? All of a sudden I woke up and here I was, 210 plus pounds. 210 pounds, mass per square inch. And I'm not a really tall person. I compared myself a lot to people. I had to stop that. And in order to ease back off of that, comparing, measuring, weighing, calculating, I began to be curious. I would look at somebody and go, I wonder if that's how I'll look when I get to my ideal weight. Maybe they had the same kind of body type as me. I have a short waist, like my hips and ribs touch each other. So of course I'm not looking at a long-waisted person thinking, I wonder if that's how I'm going to be, because I know I'm not going to be that way. So I would see people who had my basic body type and I would just play in the feeling of, wow, I wonder if that's how I would look. That would feel good. So that's completely different between calculating or wanting to look like a celebrity or something like that, right? So weighing, measuring, and calculating takes you out of the energy that will bring you to the body, to the health that you really, really want. So what else do? We eat really fast, right? I'll ask you a question. You don't have to answer because it's a touchy subject. If you want to answer, I would love it. How do you eat when you're alone? How do you eat when you're alone? Don't get mad at me. And if you do get mad at me tonight, if I say something that kind of irks you, please know that I know it's not about me. If anything that you hear tonight irks you, take that as the gift of contrast, the same kind of gift that I received that day. I was in a two-piece bathing suit, 210 pounds on the beach, and I discovered I was overweight, right? Take that contrast and the contrast you might feel tonight, and let that inspire you to really do that one thing so that you never have to diet again. Take that stinging feeling, right? That, electric shock. Darn it. I don't want to face that. I don't want to think about that. Now she said it. Now I'm thinking about it. It feels bad, right? Take that and go, okay, I know what this is. This is my inner being signaling to me that I am out of alignment. I'm out of alignment with my higher self. I'm out of alignment with my highest good. When we're in alignment with our higher self, we feel fabulous. We feel good. We feel neutral. Neutral is good. You don't have to be blissed out all day long. It's kind of good, but right. But when you're connected to your higher self, to your highest well-being, you don't feel bad about the way that you eat. And the other side of that coin is you usually eat the way that keeps you connected to your higher self, keeps you in that energy. So what are some of the other things that we do? Eat a lot. Eat when we're tired. Have a bad day and just say, damn it, the hell with it, right? So what does that mean? That means maybe you were on a diet, maybe you were working a food program and you fell off. And that's the time when you go, oh, the hell with it. I've had a bad day anyway. And then you have a worse day. We do that, right? We go out to eat and we think we have to eat every single thing on the plate because we're paying for it. Guess what? We're paying for the food that's in our refrigerator too. So that's not really in our best interest. Nothing is more important than you feel good. How do you feel? Let's think. What feels better? Going out, enjoying a nice dinner, eating only as much as satisfies you, giving the plate to the wait staff, and feeling really satisfied. Satisfied because you're not stuffed. Satisfied because you're connected to your higher self, right? Your well-being. And satisfied because you took action in the direction of what you say that you desire for your body and your health. What feels better? That or having eaten everything, every roll, every mint in the place and feeling terrible? Not only feeling terrible physically because you're so full, but feeling bad emotionally. And feeling bad spiritually because here's our higher alignment of everything that feels good, right? And we're vibrating over here, so we're missing it. And when we're not in alignment with our higher self, it feels crappy. It does not feel good. So what else? Maybe we eat because we're lonely. We had trauma in our past. Trying to pad those feelings. The truth is, no matter what it was that got, maybe we still have baby weight, right, from after having babies. Whatever it was that got us to the place where we only want to do one thing now so we don't ever have to diet again. It wasn't really that thing. It wasn't really that thing. It wasn't really that thing. It wasn't the event. It wasn't the babies. It wasn't the trauma, right? We do have reaction to trauma. I'm not discrediting that at all, believe me. Somewhere along the line, for good or for bad, out of a reaction to something painful or out of something that we heard when we were between 0 and 7 years old, we put a rule in place in our mind. We put a rule in place that goes like a loop. It plays like a loop, plays like a loop. And that rule directs you, guides you to the exact way that you interact with food, that we interact with food. And that includes the releasing and gaining, right? Being on, falling off, being on. That is inside the loop too. We made a decision somewhere along the line, and that decision resides in our subconscious mind. Maybe we heard our mother say, well, your aunt is heavy and your cousins are heavy and, it's just in our family. We're all heavy, right? That could stick. That could be the rule that got laid down that day. And that rule keeps playing out. And that's why, to the best of your ability, you keep giving it another go. It's not quite working. It's not quite working. So can you guess what the one thing is? There's no magic bullet here. There isn't a magic pill. There isn't, a get fixed quick, whatever that is. There isn't a quick fix here. There could be a quick fix. on an energetic level tonight, you could make a quantum leap when I tell you what it is and what it takes. You can make a quantum leap and you can walk away from watching this video. And hey, Eileen, hey, hi, guys. When I'm alone, I eat fast. Preaching to the choir, I'm right there with you. I eat slow and enjoy the taste of it. That's great. That's great. Then maybe you don't need to do that one thing so you never have to diet again. But I'm sure glad you're here. And let's see. Peer pressure. Sometimes it's easier to eat yourself sick than try to explain to someone who will never understand why you're changing your diet. Ooh. Auric Vibe said, my mother said we're addicted to food. Yeah, self-love. Yes, yes. So I love what Auric said. If you heard, no matter how old you are, let's say we were in our teens or maybe a little bit adolescence, right? And you know when you're young and you don't have a lot of worries and you're kind of in that state where maybe you're watching TV or maybe you're laying on the floor reading a book and everything is just so comfortable, and just a few more minutes into relaxation and maybe you'd be kind of falling asleep, maybe taking a quick nap, right? And if you heard, we're all addicted to food in this family. During that time, you're in a suggestive state. You're in a hypnotic state. That rule gets put in there and starts looping. And what happens? You play it out, right? You be the amazing, successful person that you are, and you become successful playing that loop out. Instant gratification not met can lead to frustration and just giving up. Yes, yes, yes. So there is no instant gratification. There are mini gratifications, right? And one of them leads to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. Let's face it, if we have some pounds that we need to release, there's a certain rate at which the body can safely release those pounds. And it's better for us, and we're in the better energetic alignment if we just agree that we're going to partner with our body, right? And not do anything really drastic. So that the releasing of our weight happens in peace and ease and joy and glory. The releasing of our weight leads us to even greater and better health. So we have to partner with our body. So everything that the loop represents and the rule, right? The rule that we put in there, that got put in there, is a reflection of our relationship with food, with the way that we think about it, because the loop is in there, and with our body, and on the spiritual energetic level with our higher self. The truth is, if we could stay aligned with the energy of our higher self, we would naturally release the weight. It would happen. It can happen. It can happen. It can happen tonight. You can begin to step into that process. But there's a little bit of partnering that you need to do with that. You have to be aware of how you feel all the time, not all the time, most of the time, and not obsessive. And you have to be, I hate saying have to, it's best if we can work on the impulsivity. And staying in alignment actually heals, right? The impulsivity. But if we have a long history with food, there might be those impulsive moments. Right? And if they happen, It's okay. Forgive yourself, get back on, right? Because the way that happens is you're checking to see how you're feeling. How am I feeling? I'm having a pretty good day. Things are going good. Oh, that was an energetic hit. That person that I work with, I can't believe they did that. And all of a sudden, you're out of your alignment and it's time for lunch and you're all up in your head. And then we all know what can happen. So if that happens, it's okay, right? You're just beginning to get on the path. But as you come along the path and you go, how am I feeling? Don't get into the story about that person at work and go, oh, I know what this is. I'm out of alignment. I'm annoyed. I'm irritated. Deal with the annoyance, deal with the irritation, right? Hurry up and do nothing or go to the gym until you deal with that, right? So know that you're not going to go eat during that time. So you may go, oh, I know what this is. I'm going to deal with the irritation, that idiot at work, whatever. And then you go to eat and you think about it again, you lose your balance. That's okay. Just get back, try to stay focused with your alignment. It happens again, right? Your significant other irritates you or whatever it is that happens. Somebody at work, somebody in traffic irritates you. And you go, oh, I know what this is. I remember the last time this happened, I kind of got balanced. Then I lost my footing and I turned to food and did not do myself a great justice with the food. So today I'm going to make a different decision. And then think about the thoughts that bring you back in alignment with your higher self, right? Nature, the person that you really, really love, your dog. Any thought that feels good will move you back into your energetic alignment. It doesn't have to be about your body. And the goal is to feel good. When we feel good, when we're in alignment. When we're in alignment, we have a relationship with food that is going to bring us to our ideal body, our ideal health, our ideal well-being. Along with this, and I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but along with this, affirmations are fabulous. Affirmations are fabulous. Write it down, right? There's magic that happens when you do the hand-brain connection. Magic that happens. And then you know what? Read it out loud. Read it out loud. I love moving around in this size 10 body that is incredibly healthy. My cells regenerate in perfect health from minute to minute. That's kind of flowery, but that would be something I would write. Read it out loud, because you know what's happening? When you do that, every time that you realign yourself back into alignment, every time that you speak this out loud, every time that you write it, every time that you imagine how you're going to feel, you're undoing the loop. You're breaking the loop down. So this is a little bit of the long way, which is okay. It's still shorter than what we've been doing because we hadn't gotten there yet, right? The other way is to go right into the subconscious mind and put a new loop in and make that loop so amazing that the old loop just can't help but fall away. And you can do that. You can do that with self-hypnosis. You can do that with a hypnotherapist. I love working with people. And my favorite way of working with people to change that thought, that's the one thing that we have to do. We have to change that rule. We have to change that loop. That's the one thing that we have to do. If you change it tonight, the rest is going to unfold for you. Will you have to think about what you're doing at times, right? At the bakery, at the grocery store? Yeah, you're going to have to think about it. Some people can make a quantum jump, But most of us don't make the quantum jump, right? It's a little bit of work we got to put into it. The way that I love to work with people for that is not a past life regression. Oh, let's go back and find out where this originated. You can do that and you can heal that, and that's okay. But Aquarius, with Aquarius rising, I tend to go to the future most of the time. I love to do a forward life progression. A forward life progression. Instead of going back in time, we go to the future. You meet your future self. And when you meet your future self and see yourself, interact with yourself, get a hug from yourself, that can dissolve the loop. I mean, really, like that. Truth. So the one thing that we have to change, and then we never have to diet again, is that loop, is that rule, is that thought that got implanted in our subconscious mind so long ago that will preclude carbs and keto. And you may want to still count, continue to count things because you might not trust yourself in the beginning, right? Because if you have a history like I did, you don't know if you can trust yourself until you spend time with yourself in the new energy. See what you guys are saying. Yes, you need to go back and listen to this again. Okay. No, not the cookies. Yes, the cookies. So I went to the bakery today and they had those big chocolate chip cookies. I mean, like the good ones. There are chocolate chip cookies and there are chocolate chip cookies. And I did this little success formula that I have because I'm still vulnerable to choosing something that is not in keeping with my intention. My intention right now is to really work on my health, right? And to have the best health, right? The most incredible health. And right now, sugar is not part of that for me. Could I have squeezed in a cookie? Probably. But I did my little thing, my little success formula, where I checked in with my higher self. I relaxed first because you can't get there if you're stressed, right? And this was like in a minute when the girl was turning around to get something that I was buying for somebody else. I relaxed. I tuned in. I got an impression. I got a word. I got a feeling about the cookie. And I knew it was something that I didn't want to take home with me because I dismantled my loop. Now I can make really good choices. But the answer is, Nance, you don't have to give up cookies. You don't have to give up cookies. When you're in alignment, when you dismantle the loop, you get to decide the relationship that you have with cookies. And that means you get to co-create with cookies so they can stay in your life and you can still have the health, the well-being, the body that you really, really want. And it can happen. And it will happen. Let me see what else. I'm working 12 to 14 hours. It's tourist season. Now that's tough, right? That's a lot more. So you're high risk for not eating, right? High risk for not eating. And, after a 12-hour shift in the ICU, there were days I didn't eat and I'd go home and I would eat from the minute I hit the door until I went to bed. And I may even have had ice cream in bed, So sometimes when you're too busy, you have to really, really take care of yourself. Let's see. Auric vibe, body dysmorphic perspectives of ourselves can keep us dieting rather than leading healthy lifestyles. That is so true. That is absolutely true. And when I woke up the day on the beach and discovered that I was 210 pounds, I couldn't get a vision of the way I wanted to be. I could not, and this was back before anybody said the words law of attraction, but I knew if I could get a feeling for the way that I want to be, I knew that I could make it happen. I knew that I would be guided there. But I was so devastated by the body that I saw that day in a two-piece bathing suit, humiliated, shamed. I mean, just in soul shredding pain, that I couldn't see beyond that. So I worked it backwards. And the only thing that I could get to was, how would it feel if my legs didn't rub together? Because that was like such a burden. That was such a burden. So I began to imagine how great that would feel. And I hung on to that. That was the only beginner vision that I could get. And over time, and over developing a new relationship with energy and with food, that vision morphed into me walking on the beach, being healthy, being fit, being sturdy, being toned. So that vision led me to not dieting. You're exactly right, Auric. You're exactly right. It led me to wanting to eat all of the things that brings that body, that brings that health. And that's what happens when we're in alignment. When we're dieting, or when we can't, when we're trying to get somebody else's body, right? We're trying to be like that person. We are out of alignment with our higher self. And we're going to miss it. You know, we're not going to get to where we want to be. So there's a lot of ways to approach this. I think I've laid out several of them tonight. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about anything, if there's anything that you would like to discuss with me regarding health, well-being, or I just got distracted. Squirrel. Or wellness. You can reach me at norilove1111 at gmail.com. norilove1111 at gmail.com. I'm almost over. Let's see. All right. All right. Only the light abides here. The light abides here. Feel free to reach out to me. I do have let me get it right, a mind-body convergence stretch beginning. It begins tomorrow. It's every Saturday in July, and it's not your average 1, 2, reach here, press this, squat down. It's nothing like that. It's a very deep, connected. I'm so sorry. I'm getting distracted. People are calling me, and so sorry. It's a very deep, connected, soulful stretch. All levels are welcome, and we're going to get back in touch with our body, especially if you've been, out of touch with your body because you've patted yourself, or you've been sick, or you've been inactive. The way to begin is to get back into alignment. The way to get back into alignment is to feel back into your body. If you're cut off from any area of your body, including your brain, I do that sometimes, you're not in your highest flow. So these stretch classes are going to be really gentle. Like some of the cueing could be, move your whole head back a half an inch. So we just took ourselves out of computer inch, neck. Makes my voice funny. Move your head back a half an inch. So now our neck is back in alignment where it used to be, where it should be, where it will be after our 5 weeks together in July. And now with your midline staying midline, just gently tilt your head toward the side. Stop the minute you feel the first degree of tension. And just hold here. If your breathing is choppy, if your neck is really tight, if your jaw is clenched, you've gone too far. Come back a little bit and just hold here. And there are a lot of other things that I say during that time that are affirmative, that are inspiring, that are actually healing. So it's not your average stretch class. It happens every Saturday, 7:30 in the morning Eastern. I know it's early. It's so early for me too. But if you want to join us, send me a quick email, norilove1111@gmail.com. I'll tell you how to join. It is donation based. So I'm shattering all excuses, right? I want all of my stuff and I'm listening. I am listening to guidance now. And almost everything that I'm doing right now is donation based because this is the ascension. This is the awakening. This is the age of Aquarius. We've got our toe in the pond and we need to have our incredible, dynamic, divine health back because it's what houses the rest of us, right? It's what's carrying the eternal part of us through this incredible time. So I am listening, I am honoring, and almost everything that I'm doing right now is donation based. So send me an email, or if you're a text kind of person, you can send me a text, 757-323-5558. And I'll be happy to talk with you and get you the link for tomorrow, 7:30. I want to say a shout out to our friends over at the Conscious Awakening Network. Check us out over there. We're streaming over there. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff over there. I'll see you guys next week. Come join us Tuesday, 8 p.m. right here on Broadcast Team Alpha. We're going to have another fascinating guest. Much love, everybody. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Be in alignment as often as you can, and everything, absolutely everything, will flow